Welcome to the Personal Development Mastery Podcast. Stand out, don't fit in. Welcome to the podcast. This is the second part of the interview with Estrela. If you haven't checked out the previous episode 18, go back and have a listen to it, where Emma talks about the Wim Hof method, immunity, cold exposure, social distancing, and also the freedom of going off grid. Shall we talk about breathing, which is, I intentionally left that topic because it is actually the thing that I wanted to explore more with you and discuss more, because breathing is, you know that better than most people, that breathing is something we all do, yet most people are not even aware of it. So tell me how Wim Hof breathing is different and why someone should start paying attention to how they breathe.
Yeah, sure. So the breath for me is very powerful. It's enabled me to lock my early life trauma, the tension, anything like that I didn't even know was going on. It's enabled me to run a marathon with no training. And that's just purely on breath work. And it's enabled me to find a positive response to something that I felt maybe not going my way, if you like. So I just connect back to the breath. So the breath is like the key, I think, into the soul, if you like, or or breathing in is like, as Wim now says, life force. So depending on what you want. So it has so many layers. So it can help you sort of have a deeper understanding. And you can start your journey by just, instead of it, how we've been talking now, you don't think about breathing, so it's automatic and you do it naturally. But you can also tap into it, so you can do it consciously as well. And that's, for me, that's amazing, to able to have that kind of skill, because you can then influence your body and your immune system and your endocrine system, which is all seemed to be autonomic before. But I suppose with the Wim Hof, that you're able to go more than just be aware of the breath. Mm-hmm. So the breath is very important to how you choose to live your life. Mm-hmm. And you don't have to be on it all the time as well. So it really does unlock different things in your system, because you can influence and your heartbeat, your the gut, everything like that, all from the breath. So it's like the way in, if you like. So people who come to my workshops or are aware of the Wim Hof, I think the fact that they're tuning into how their breath and how they are breathing is enough. So that's your first step, is just to be aware that, I can change it. So there's a fantastic little exercise that we do with the push-ups exercise, because that's for me, that's great, because then you suddenly become broader in your mind, like, oh wow, I didn't think that was possible, or how did that happen? And that's just introducing of how powerful the breath can be. Yeah, so I just think, as I said, just creating awareness for that. The Wim Hof method allowed me to realize that I was breathing shallow in life, sort of breathing quick and light in the top two ventricles of the lungs. So you've got the lungs, you've got the top two, bottom two. And I had no idea that I thought I was breathing right and everything like that. I had no idea that I was breathing not optimally for my body. So it just allowed me to just explore more, and how sort of badly I got it wrong in life, which isn't my fault. It's just the way that I was living,
No one teaches us those things. I mean, not in the traditional education. Our parents or most people don't know about these things, which are so fundamentals. I mean, breathing. What's more fundamental than breathing?
Totally, and I find that strange that was missed off the criteria, like, because I mean, there's different types of breathing. Like, I'm really into Buteyko as well, so breathing in and out through the nose, and that will really help with like the coronavirus now, respiratory systems and things like that. So breathing through the nose, You have nitric oxide, which is just nice. It just helps clean the particles, and it's good. It's just the correct way. You have a nose to breathe, and just stuff like that was never educated in school or anything like that, because that will definitely stop a lot of sort of problems we have today. So on a regular basis, breathing in and out through your nose is fantastic. And then when you do the Wim Hof method, 20, 30, 40 minutes a day, and that's fantastic. So yeah, you're right. It's incredible that no one's really talking about it, and it's free, and really kind of help heal yourself just by doing that. And maybe that's why, I'm not going into the politics of it, but maybe that's probably why they're not sharing.
I won't disagree with you, but let's leave it to that for now. Yeah, you said about the marathon that you did with no preparation, but just with breath work. So can you tell me, what was there a specific kind of breath that you were doing?
I was mixing it up actually, because I became when I found out how powerful the Wim Hof method is, and like where I was always like, where else can it take me? What else can I do? Because I got into a cold water and I never thought that was possible. I jumped into a flowing cold river and never thought that was possible. Climbed a mountain at minus 17 degrees, never thought that was possible. Then I ended up walking the Camino, which is something I'd always wanted to do in my life and ended up putting off. And then Wim allowed me to see the time is now. The time is now. It's always now. So I'm like,
Yes.
the time is now. I'm going to live it. So I walked the Camino and I did that, and I didn't think that was possible. So when I got back, I was like, because I remember Rich Roll talking some 10 months earlier, that he is an ultra marathon runner. So he planted the seed for me. So I was like, I'm going to run a marathon. So that's why I chose to do that. I wasn't by any means a couch potato to a marathon runner, so I'm not claiming that at all. I was a fairly fit person in Cumbria, because we got lots of hills here and mountains. So in order to get to the shop, I'd have to walk uphill. So I'm definitely probably fitter than maybe the average, just by my living situation. But I had 5 weeks to prepare, and I really didn't like running. I have been in the army, so I do know how to run, but it's something I didn't enjoy. But so there's two parts to this, that I was super interested in breathwork and what it can do for me. Yeah. So I did a lot of Kundalini yoga, because that, for me, the yoga combined the breath with movement, and it's nice movement with the body. So I saw that as a really nice moving meditation where you focus on the breath and do that. So I did a lot of Kundalini and a lot of sort of different kind of exercises with that. I did something called I call it the diaphragmatic activation exercise breath, because I figured that the only thing I need to strengthen is my nose and diaphragm, and really build up that muscle, because I was told in Poland that the most underused muscle in your body is the diaphragm. So I thought, well, if I exercise the diaphragm, then that will enable me to do my ultra run. And this is what I share now in my workshops. I still share that quote, the most underused muscle in your body is the diaphragm. So I thought, I just need to exercise my diaphragm. So that's where Kundalini came in, the diaphragm activation exercise, the Wim Hof method breathing, and also the Buteyko, which is breathing in and out through your nose. So at night, you sort of tape your mouth and breathe in and out through your nose, which is nice and calming. So I was just doing that really for 5 weeks, and I was pushing my body further and further. That I didn't know at this time that it was doing altitude training, if you like. So I was getting more comfortable with the carbon dioxide and the oxygen ratio in my body. I didn't really know that part before. I just knew that I could do stuff for longer without feeling dizzy, if you like. So I had that, and I figured that was a good thing. And I cycled. So my endurance side was the cycling. So I cycled everywhere instead of running. I do believe you use the same muscle groups, just easier on the knees, maybe. Mm-hmm. And I had bad knees, so that's the reason why I don't enjoy the running. But I was the only one actually to cycle to. I wasn't the only one to cycle to the marathon, but the ultra marathon, I was the only one to cycle there. Everyone got dropped off in cars, and I was like pedaling along, cycling, and I was like, "Where's the start?" And they're like, "Really? Like, I just need to park my bike somewhere." So So yeah, it was a really nice warm up. But so I saw the run at the time, because I'm not addicted to running. So normally you swap one addiction to another addiction, and running is not my addiction. I've never done it since. Not so it was just a one-off marathon and an ultra marathon. But reflecting it a year later, so when I was doing the run, I completed it, and I was like, wow, what else can I push my body to do, and everything like that. So going back to that, and then the ultramarathon, I was like, wow, it's amazing. And then I went to see a medium actually, and the medium said to me, you can carry on doing all these things, and you'll be successful, because that's your strength. Play to your weakness. So I have like the sun and the moon, complete opposites. So I could be very sort of nurturing, and at the same time I could be super strong with the sun. So depending what you believe in the astrology. So I just like, yeah, good point. So I said, I can carry on running and I won't cause an injury and it'll be fine. She goes, yeah, you carry on running, you will always complete the race because you've got that determination, but you really need to play to your surrender, which is what the water was playing for me. And so yeah, so there's two types in the fitness. You can have the grit and determination, yeah, I'm going to do it, or you can just surrender to what is, and then you can go further, if you know, just by letting go of your mindset and just run, be in the moment, and that's beautiful. So that came alight when I was doing the running, that I just, because it was so long, I've never run that distance before.
You surrendered.
I just surrendered into it rather than the grit and determination. So when I saw the medium afterwards, when she said that, I was like, yeah, so I get that. So how do I play to my weakness, which is the surrender? So she goes, I just see breath work in your path. I don't know what it is, breath work. And I was like, oh, okay. So that was when I decided to take the instructor course, the academy.
All right.
I'm a Wim Hof instructor. It was because I was using the breath and manipulating it in my life and having a positive effect from it. A year on, when I was like, why do I not need the need to run again? And because someone in my course, in my workshop, said, so what's next for you? What's your next achievement? And I'm like, yeah, that's a good point. I've not really got any desire to do, I don't know, an Ironman or anything like that. I've got, well, why is that? So I just look back at the year, what made me do that run? And I think it was just 4.5 hours and 7.5 hours of breath work, basically. So I was breathing in and out from my nose, enjoying the moment, doing that. So it just became a long breath work for me, and I couldn't believe it. So I just thought, I've got no need to do it again. So I do believe that got my itch. I really needed that long breath work to get something out of me, and it was a positive channel of the anger maybe that I was holding deep inside, and I was able to release it through the marathon and the ultra marathon.
There's just one more question I want to ask about the running thing. What did you do with the internal dialogue that I'm sure at some point it was telling you that you might injure yourself, or I can't take it anymore, or did the breath or the surrendering?
You didn't?
No, I never thought about the injury or impact. Maybe it's naivety, and sometimes that's a good thing. But I never really assessed the risk factor at all, because it just felt right to be there.
Okay.
It brought me there.
Sure.
And my Camino, so I was walking across northern Spain, was very much in the now and looking at the moving sort of set, if you like, that you're walking along. So I just sort of transferred the 30 days that I walked the Camino into a little bit faster, my marathon, and it was and my ultra marathon 5 weeks later. So it was very much continuing living in the now and enjoying the moment. And the loops that I created on the Camino, which were longer, that was 8 hours every day on your own, and then you join some friends in the evening. I feel that they were my positive loops, if you like, that I developed on the Camino. And then I just transferred that to the marathon. So I didn't have to do too much Plus, I didn't know either because I'd never run that distance, so it was all new. So a little bit of excitement of like, yay, check me out. And I was celebrating after 6 miles. I was like, whoa, I've done 7 miles. Whoa, I've done 8 miles. So I was very much kind of like, check me out. Oh, when I do 13, it's the longest I've ever done. You know, so I was very much sort of living that way rather than looking at my watch and go, oh, I haven't done it fast enough. You know, that was never my intention.
Sure, I get it.
Awesome. Emma, I have some quick fire questions I wanted to ask you, but I'm wondering, do you think we could do a little breathing exercise for the listeners as well? Is there something that we could do through the podcast, you think?
Yeah, of course. Yeah, I could I'll go through like a round so they get the idea.
Okay.
Yeah, for sure.
Are there any precautions or anything that...
Yes, we say not to, if you've got epilepsy or sort of pregnant. In fact, actually, that's interesting about pregnancy. We say pregnancy, but actually the body knows. So the body's not going to put the baby under any risk at all. So the breathing just won't work for a woman who's pregnant. They have shorter retention times. That's nice that the body knows, but obviously it's a precaution. So if you're pregnant, then don't do the breathing. And I suppose if you have maybe some serious heart conditions as well, maybe to consult your doctor just to check that it's okay. Yeah.
Sure.
Okay, so you can guide us.
I can guide you with the breathing. Okay, so with the Wim Hof breathing, the protocol, if you like, is 30 rounds. So it is circular breathing, sort of deep diaphragmatic breathing. So when we say fully in, so obviously fully in means inhalation. So full inhalation, so you're filling up the whole lung capacity, and then we say let it go, which is the exhalation. So the exhalation is where you literally let it go is quite a good phrase because it's like it's no effort. And it's Wim's now saying it's like 1 atmosphere to 1 atmosphere. So it's an easy transfer of a release or the exhalation. So there's no force in the exhalation. There's no using more muscles than you need to, like, breathing in, forcing that out. Because there my stomach went in, my lips went in, I was forcing out. It's just so the best way to describe it is a sigh. So when you breathe fully in, and then the sigh doesn't require any effort. It's very passive. It's very gentle and it's very kind. So those, whilst the fully in is the active, So you breathe in, either through your mouth or your nose, it doesn't matter. Nothing's really been proven between the mouth and nose. I always like to share in my workshops that the longer the practice, then perhaps breathing through the nose would be better.
Okay.
At this stage, it's not. It doesn't matter. Whatever you feel most comfortable with. So fully in, so deep diaphragmatic breathing. So when you fill in, actually when you breathe down into the bottom 2 ventricles of your lungs, your belly rises because basically the diaphragm is like this, that you breathe in, the diaphragm flattens out and your rib cage opens up and your midriff sort of goes out. So it's like you become like a barrel breather or 360 breather. So when you breathe in, ultimately stick your belly out, if you like. So I know that's... you're using muscles to do that, but when it becomes more natural, your belly naturally rises. So if you're lying on the floor doing the breathing exercise, which is probably the best, when you breathe in, the belly rises, then the chest, and then you let it go. So that's sort of the action you'll have. And maybe this is profoundly moving. You're not going to move that much, so it might be just that, and then let down. So it's so when you breathe fully in, belly rises, and the chest, and then you let it go with a sigh. And that's it. You do 30 of that. I always say before the last retention, when we go into retention, fully in, fully out. Now, this is where I confuse people and I lose people, which is fine. And the reason why I do that, and it is in the protocol as well, but some instructors might not. It's a choice, I suppose, now. It's because you're expending the most carbon dioxide. So your last breath, you're getting rid of all the carbon dioxide in your lungs. And then you go back to fully in and the sigh, and then you hold. So after the fully in, fully out, you go fully in, and then you exhale gently, and then you hold. And that's called your retention time. So the retention time can be anything up to 30 seconds to 3 minutes. Okay, so on average about 2. And you just lie there, and that's why I call that phrase actively still, because you're lying there, but actually your body is super, changing. The magic happens, the chemistry is happening, and you've got a lot of things going on in that time when you're just lying there. And it's a beautiful time just to scan the body and really feel what relaxation means to you. And that is when you're in your parasympathetic. So you relax. Then the next thing to do naturally is to breathe in. So obviously if you've done your exhalation, hold, retention, the next one will be inhalation. So when you feel the urge and you get that kind of tightness maybe around the diaphragm, that kind of pull, that's the time, no force. When you feel like doing it, just breathe in. So you inhale, and then from there you inhale, you hold that breath. And you have a choice just to hold, and that's really powerful. And you can feel the belly rises and the chest, and you kind of feel the hold in your chest area, and it's quite nice. With that kind of area there, you can choose to push up to your head, like Wim said. You can squeeze to the head.
Yeah.
Basically, the squeeze to the head is where you're putting more oxygen into your head, which doesn't normally have the oxygen on a regular basis. So you're probably feeding the pineal gland, if you like. So you're squeezing up to the head. And I always say now, squeeze with love. It's not a bad squeeze where your ears pop and anything, anything like that. It's just nice, kind, love squeeze to the head. Do you know what I mean? And that's it. And you just hold that for about 15 seconds. Then when you're ready, just let the breath go. And that's the end of one round. And it's normally when I share that, everyone's like totally confused. But when you're fully guided, you've got nothing to worry about, and it just sort of come together. Yeah. And then obviously you repeat a second or a third time, or how many times you feel. But it's normally 3 rounds, 4 rounds to get the full effect of the chemistry change in the body, if you like. So, and it's also there's where the word commitment in the Wim Hof. Because after the second, your mind is resisting, going, let's get out of it. I want to do the washing up or whatever you want to do. But actually focus on the breath. So between the second and the third, normally is where the commitment is like, no, I'm here to stay. I'm going to do it well. So there, and that's when I find that you can, once you push past the conditioned mind of resistance, you can really explore your body and go further. So yeah.
Awesome.
Very happy to guide one round if you wish.
Oh yes, absolutely. I'm looking forward to it.
Okay. So now I've explained it and you're completely confused. You just follow, follow. And I'm just gonna time. Okay. Right. So the idea, I suppose, is to be in a comfortable position. Lying down is the perfect one. You might feel cold extremities, like hands and feet. That's only because you're tapping into the hypothalamus, and you can change the body temperature. So they're all normal reactions. You might feel dizzy, tingliness in the hands and feet, or new pulsating in the body. Again, all normal reactions to this breathing. I always like to say do it lying down. It's fine. It's because you might get lightheaded. Again, that's normal. And if you're lying on the floor, you're not going to get any lower. So
Am eyes open, eyes closed? Does it matter?
Good one. I always, I think when you're doing the breathing, it's nice to have your eyes closed. And I always say, look, go to the third eye area, so it's in between your eyebrows, and just rest your eye there.
Interesting.
Make your eyelids heavy, so there's no need to open them up. But if you want to have them with it open, then with your eyes open, then that's fine too. Whatever you feel most comfortable.
Sure.
So yeah. So if you just get in a relaxed state, now just focus on the breath. So become aware of the breath and find out where it's going. So whether you're breathing in through the mouth or the nose, it doesn't really matter. But just be aware of how you're breathing. And then with the next inhalation, just breathe deeper. So you're going to get the breath in, and so you're sort of breathing towards your toes. So you're really now filling up the chest. And as we start the Wim Hof breathing, you fully in, so the belly rises and the chest, and then you let it go. Inhale, expand. Exhale, relax. Inhale, expand. Exhale, relax. Inhale, expand. Exhale, relax. That's it. So you're breathing fully in, as we say, and let it go. So fully in is the inhale, and letting go is the exhale. So you do about 30 of this, fully in and letting go. And every breath you take, go deeper into your body. And every exhalation, just relax a little more in your body. That's it. So I always say it's circular breathing. So with every inhale, it's followed by an exhale, followed by an inhale, followed by an exhale. So it's circular breathing going round and round. And if your mind drifts, then just focus on the oxygen coming in through the mouth and nose and coming into your system and diffusing out into your muscles and your cells. Make that the focus. Last 5, fully in, letting go. 4, fully in, letting go. 3, as deep as you can, and letting go. 2, as deep as you can, and letting go. 1, as deep as you can, and letting go. And finally, all together, full breath in, full breath out. Excellent. Full breath in, and let it go like the sigh. Let it go and hold. Now, this is your attention time where you no need to breathe. And this is where you can scan your body and just feel the body. Be a witness or the observer of what's going on. Sometimes it could be new sensations. I just say to myself, say yes to the new sensations and just be aware of what's happening. An element of trust. And you can relax more and more by just letting go of any tension that might rise now in the body. Just say to yourself, let it go. Sometimes you might have so relax your shoulders, you can relax your jaw and relax your forehead because they can tense up during this time. Doing really well and just feel the body. And it is nice. I always say it's nice to smile behind the eyes. And enjoy the journey. There's a lot of things happening in the body right now. Just be a witness to it all. So this is the time that you can hold the breath between like 1 or 2 minutes. So whenever you feel the urge to breathe in, no force, just take the breath in whenever you're ready. So you inhale, hold. You can choose to squeeze the head 15 seconds or just hold it for 15 seconds, then let it go. That's it. So fully in, hold the breath. And you can squeeze with love to the head. It's getting more oxygen up to the head. 15 seconds, and then let it go. And that was just like one round of the breath. It's nice, isn't it? It's true relaxation. It's true relaxation doing that. So that was just one round. And normally you just repeat. You just repeat two more times or 3 more times. It's entirely up to you.
I felt spaced out, and that was just fun. Yeah, I do the full 3 when I do it. I actually do it every day now.
Yeah, it's really important.
In the morning, when I wake up, I just have my water and the supplements, and then I do those 3 rounds. And
yeah,
I think more than ever now, because it does help with your immune system. So there's a lot going on. You can produce more white blood cells, and you reduce the inflammation cells. So all very good for the immune system. So right now, 1 or 2 times a day for sure.
And there's a great app by Wim Hof that helps with that.
Yeah, there's an app. You can go on his website, download the app. There's the Bubble now, which is available. Yeah, so absolutely, there's a lot of information. Or you just sign up and it gets just 3 videos, I introduced you to the Wim Hof. So, yeah, absolutely. It's
Fantastic.
all out there.
Thank you for that. That was I enjoyed this little private session of breathwork.
Well, I'm getting used to doing it online now, so
I will, I will certainly post, especially that part of the video sooner than the whole conversation. Emma, let me. I need to find my pace again. I'm a little bit like, pace man. I just want to ask you some quick fire questions as well. What does personal development mean to you?
Personal development means to me self-exploration, I think, and then how can that benefit others? Yeah. Okay, I don't know how to expand on that. I mean, it could be good or it could be bad. It could be, it's all about the journey, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
So I think personal development is just to be open to more things, and to trust not from the head anymore. It doesn't necessarily need to be an achievement, or I'll just do this, I can go there, and I think it needs to be more from the heart. Does it feel good for me? And then from the gut, do I trust it's going to be like the intuition? So yeah.
Awesome. If you could go back in time and meet your 20-year-old self, what's the one piece of advice you would give her?
I think you're going to be all right. Yeah.
You're going to be all right.
You're going to be all right. Yeah, don't stress. Don't stress more stuff. Yeah. I think it might have been different before when I think you asked me that question. I can't remember what it was before, but it's remember that life is good.
I think it's impossible just to isolate one thing. It's difficult, isn't it? I mean, there is so much experience over the years that it's difficult, but it's part of the beauty of this question, to find out what's at the moment.
Yeah, sure, absolutely. Oh, be well.
Emma, if you could wave a magic wand and change something in the world today, what would you change?
I'll go back to what we first spoke about now, which is that word social distance. We could just make it call it physical distance. I think it will lift a lot of people into a more positive vibrations and mindset.
That's fantastic. Yeah. Is there? I know you told me that you wanted to go with the flow with the conversation, but is there anything you were hoping I would ask you and I completely missed it?
No, I think I've probably been more honest on this podcast than I ever have been. And it's gone. You're so easy to talk to, and I really like our flow. So no, I think that kind of covers everything. Yeah, we really have covered a lot of topics on here, and
Absolutely.
I didn't hear of anything specific actually. That's what I like about chatting to you and things. It's the flow is easier to relate and share. So I didn't have. Oh, I must say this. Right. If anything, I probably said too much. So there you go.
How can people connect with you? Will they be able still to connect with you now that you'll be off grid?
I'm not sure now. Yeah. I'm available on LinkedIn. I think it's Emma Estrela. I have a website which is www.emmaestrela.com. My Instagram as well. You can connect, and I've got some messages through there. Also Facebook Messenger. So there's plenty of ways to contact me. Also on the Wim Hof Method platform. If there's nothing else you remember, Wim Hof Method. Oh, she's an instructor. You can just message me through there. I'm doing some actually one-to-one coaching now. I've got a couple of people. I just have an hour a week, and it can be split between half an hour one day, half an hour another. And we just go through the Wim Hof and whatever they feel at the time. But obviously, I go with there is no program, but there's obviously a program, and it will just deepen your awareness and your connection with the method. So I'm sort of doing that. And with me going off grid maybe next week, I'm not sure quite what's going to happen, but I will be tapping into 4G, if you like, a couple of times a day, but I probably won't be available as often, which is no bad thing.
No bad thing at all.
We are constantly hooked into the internet nowadays, and even more now that we're at home than before. So I don't know if 25 hours a day.
Yeah, totally. So, but I will be tuning in a couple of days, obviously a couple of times a day, and I'll marry it around with my calls then and stuff. So you will be able to get hold of me. And I might not like off grid, and I'll be like, oh. So you never know. I never know what my future is. But I'm going to
keep me up to date with I'm looking forward to your blog about the experience.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, totally. It would be, it feels really weird. When I made the decision to get my car better equipped to go off grid, and I went to come stay at my friend's, I felt like Thelma and Louise, but not wanting to jump off a cliff or anything like that. I was like, freedom! But I have no idea what the outcome's going to be.
That's part of the beauty of it. Yeah, they're unknown.
Yeah, trust the unknown, which is really what we have been living in. We just built this kind of thing of routine and stuff, but actually everything's unknown, really.
Yeah, that's true. That's absolutely true. Emma, I want to thank you very much from my heart for your time and the information, your wisdom, and the little breathing session that you shared with us. I want to wish you all the very best with your, your journey of what was it, the true identity. Keep on, and. All the very best. Any parting words?
Thank you. Any parting words? No, just don't be afraid. I mean, I still am. Judgment. Don't be afraid to be yourself. I think now more than ever to explore. So, passing words. Just if you've got that inkling, just do it. Yeah, whatever that will be. Say whatever you need to say. Be whatever you need to be. Because this is a great energy and time to change and address what you really want. Yeah.
Fantastic. Thank you very much.
You're welcome. Thank you for having me. So cool. Thank you.
Thank you, Emma. Thanks. Thank you very much for listening. Please take a moment to subscribe, rate and review Personal Development Mastery on Apple Podcasts. If you want to know more about me and how I can help you, join my Facebook group Personal Development Mastery. You can either search for it on Facebook or you can simply type bit.ly/PDM group. And until next time, stand out, don't fit in.